Last Tuesday, National Mortgage News reported that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau issued consent orders against a pair of companies. They cited what it called harmful delays in their work for older adults and withdrawing equity from their homes. Now, the orders seek to permanently bar two Sutherland Global subsidiaries and Novad Management Consulting from reverse mortgage servicing, and they called upon them to pay millions of dollars in redress and civil monetary penalties. Novad, if the name sounds familiar, was HUD's servicer of all HECM loans that were in assignment during the years 2014 through 2022. Sutherland was a subcontractor for Novad. Now, this is big news because many of you watching are aware of the problems we had with Novad servicing. In the CFPB's press release, the Bureau says Sutherland and Novad were unprepared to support the hundreds of thousands of older homeowners whose reverse mortgages the defendants were responsible for, said CFPB Director Rohit Chopra. He alleges the defendants ignored complaints and calls for help, and they let problems snowball into disasters. The CFPB alleges around 150,000 distressed mortgage borrowers per year experience financial harm as a result. The Bureau adds that these companies systemically failed to respond to thousands of homeowner requests for loan payoff statements, short sales, deeds in lieu of foreclosure, lien releases, and requests for general information. The Bureau further alleges the companies allowed problems to fester to critical points, which resulted in borrowers losing out on home sales, paying unnecessary costs, and fearing foreclosure. Now, Sutherland has been ordered to pay $11.5 million in redress for customers for their actions. And the CFPB is also ordering both of these entities and Novad to pay collectively a $5 million civil monetary penalty, which will go into a relief fund for affected borrowers. Older homeowners did not choose Sutherland and Novad as their reverse mortgage servicer, and the CFPB is holding these defendants accountable for their unlawful neglect, said Chopra. On June 14th, the American Land Title Association, along with the National Consumer Law Center, the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, and the AARP, released a new joint brief with recommendations for states and governments to help combat the rise of elder real estate fraud and financial exploitation. That according from a press release of the National Consumer Law Center. Elder real estate fraud and financial exploitation includes a broad range of actions, many we've covered here on this show, such as forged or coerced signatures on legal or financial documents, the non-disclosure of critical information in a financial transaction, inappropriate utilization of power of attorney, and scams that target older Americans' money or property. Addressing elder real estate fraud necessitates a collective effort, said NAR's Vice President of Policy Advocacy, Brian Green. NAR continues to advocate on behalf of seniors to shield them from exploitive tactics, such as reverse mortgages, property investment, and foreclosure rescue offers. We are proud to work with ALTA, AARP, and the NCLC to offer these recommendations to states to prevent seniors from being targeted by these increasingly prevalent schemes and to safeguard their financial security. Now, Green never specifies how reverse mortgages are exploitive. However, there have been isolated incidents where scammers would encourage a homeowner to get a reverse mortgage so they could access those funds from the loan for their own personal gain. But that said, at least the statement does mention this. One of the primary culprits of elder financial fraud comes from family and friends. While elder financial exploitation is often perpetrated by family members or trusted friends, older Americans are also common targets of unscrupulous professionals and strangers looking to commit fraud, said Jen Jones, Vice President of Government Affairs, Financial Security, and Livable Communities at AARP. They say to prevent fraud and financial exploitation against older Americans, the ALTA, NCLC, NAR, and AARP are also calling for state and federal governments to strengthen their data gathering and enforcement of laws to prevent this abuse of older Americans. What are the recent trends in HECM lending and what may we expect in the coming months? Those are the questions that bring many of you back here each month for our monthly installment of Reverse Market Insights Market Minute with John McCue. John, thank you for joining us and take it away.
All right, thanks, Shannon, for having me back again here. This month, we're going to be looking at, in a little more depth, April numbers. And that starts with case numbers as usual, just because this is always our best indicator of what's happening or what future months are going to happen. So April case numbers dropped just a little bit, just under 0.4% to 3,488. But that's still mostly maintaining March's highs that we had. And in March again, we had the just over 3,500 applications. New equity takeout dropped just under 1% to 2,877, and purchase declined another 0.5% to 198. Essentially, that was one application. So that category is still going pretty strong, which is really nice to see. Refinances took a little bit of a rise, 3.3%. So it's still really high at 413. That one is still very interesting to see, where we're at with that. So, that's still one we're going to be watching to kind of see what happens as the year moves on. This is the first month, by the way, that we did have a slight decline in applications for 2024, but even again at that, it was less. It was at a 0.4% drop. So nothing really to be concerned about. We're still looking pretty strong as far as applications are concerned. As far as endorsements go, they grew 2.3% to 2,105 loans. 6 of the 10 regions were up in April. The Great Plains jumped 140%. The New York, New Jersey area grew 20.9%, and New England grew 10.1% to be exact. As far as the different channels are concerned, you can see that retail grew again at 7.5%, and wholesale took another drop, 5.7%. So for the last couple months, retail has been really driving the overall growth in endorsements. As far as lenders are concerned, 7 of the top 9 showed growth. Plaza added 48.4% to 46 loans, and Liberty grew 40.5% to 104 loans. Gilt gained 36.8% to finish with 78 loans. I mean, all in all, guys, things are looking pretty decent. I know that loans are struggling a little bit, but the signs are really pointing to being relatively strong, at least compared to how 2023 ended and kind of how the year started. But next month we'll look at May. I can tell you right now that the April showers, if you will, brought some really nice growth as far as endorsements are concerned. Rates have been moving in the right direction. Again, all indicators are pointing, in positive directions. So, just hang in there, keep grinding out, getting those loans, and we'll talk to you guys next month.
And that's a wrap for us here at HECMWorld, for the nation's only weekly podcast, bringing reverse mortgage related news to you, the mortgage professional. We do have an audio companion edition, which you can find on Apple Music, Spotify, and Podbean. Be sure to subscribe also to our email newsletter so you never miss any of our most recent content. You can do that at HECMWorld.com as well. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to return next week for more reverse mortgage news.